Power stations are certainly a hot topic at the moment, with massive amounts of interest in gadgets such as this. This is the Aferiy P110 power station, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing it and giving you all the information you could possibly need to decide whether this is something you would like in your life, and just how much it has changed my life as a content creator to be able to allow me to do what I do more efficiently. Now, for full disclosure, Aferiy did send me this product for free. I've received no additional payments, and they have had absolutely zero creative control in what I'm going to say in this video. So let's get into it. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is the Aferiy P110. This pushes out a max output of 1200 watts. However, if it's not quite suited to your needs, they do 3 more models for you to choose from. First of all, we have the Aferiy P110 with a peak output of 800 watts, which is a bit smaller, lighter, and a bit more portable. Or we can go even bigger. We have the Aferiy P210 pushing out that 2400 watts. Or we even have the Aferiy P310 pushing out a peak output of 3600 watts. And of course, all of these models are available for the UK, EU and US markets. So unboxing the P110 then, of course, we get the P110 power station, we get the power cord, we also get a really nice dust cover, meaning that you can just cover it over when it's not in use to keep all the dirt and grime out of it. So a few accessories available. You can get a 12 volt in-car charger, just so if you are running a car or motorhome, for example, you can charge it up on your travels. You can also, of course, with it being a power station, it wouldn't be complete without solar panel compatibility, which of course you can purchase for this piece of kit as well. Now, this features the very latest in battery technology with a lithium iron phosphate large capacity 1248 watt hours, with that of course peak output of 1200 watts. Now, Aferiy do tell us that this battery is going to be good for 3500 cycles. Now, to put that into perspective, of course, because this channel is primarily around DJI drones, for example, if you do buy a DJI drone, DJI basically warrant these batteries, which would go inside your drone, for 200 cycles. So obviously, if you put that into comparison, 200 cycles, DJI will say this battery will last. Well, this is good for 3500 cycles. Plus, if there is any problems, Aferiy also give you a 7-year warranty, so you've got that peace of mind. Now, with this piece of kit, you are certainly not short of charging options. We have got no less than 6 USB ports. We've got that XT connection. We've got that cigarette lighter 12 volt connection as well. We've also got a couple of 12 volt 3 amp connections on the front just to top it off. But we also have got our 2 standard UK 3-pin connectors just on the side, or of course, if you are in the EU or US, it would be your correct socket accordingly. Now, of course, we have got a incredibly nice and clear screen, which can be seen even in bright sunshine. The key features about this is, of course, it tells us the battery percentage we have got remaining. It tells us how much consumption we're currently using. In the bottom left corner, it will tell us how long in terms of hours and minutes that we have got left as well when it comes to our battery remaining life. If we are using this plugged in, of course, it will tell us our battery percentage. Of course, that is going to increase, and it will also tell us in the top right corner just how fast it is charging. Here in the UK with this model, the maximum input is 700 watts, and as you can see there, it is charging around that 700 watts capacity. Not only that, but we do get some additional information on our screen as well. If the fans were running, of course, it will give us that little icon, as you can see on screen. If we want to switch our USB on, we just single press. We're going to get that icon right there. Of course, if we turn the DC on, we're going to get these icons here as well. Now, we do have a nice handy light on the front as well, with 3 modes that you can just simply toggle through. Of course, the benefits to that is pretty obvious. If you are out camping or you do suffer a power cut from home, you can simply press that just to provide a little bit of lighting. Now, being primarily a drone channel, I have to confess that this has absolutely transformed the way that I go about my business, because it just provides absolutely so much charging ability. As you can see, I can simply charge my DJI Mini 4 Pro, I can charge the spare batteries in the charging hub, I can charge the controller. Even if I want to quickly charge my Apple Watch, I have got tons of sockets to be able to do that at the same time. Now, what I really love about this is the fact that quite often my channel is quite famous for doing DJI Fly app updates, where generally I'm flying with 2 or 3 drones at the same time to be able to bring you a full comprehensive review. However, what I really love about this is the fact that, of course, if you don't know already, DJI drones batteries tend to deplete after a certain amount of time. It's basically their built-in protection to avoid them swelling. Now, this can sometimes catch me out because it may well be that I want to fly the DJI Mini 2, but I've not flown it for a couple of weeks, so my batteries are relatively flat. But not to worry, because with this piece of kit right here, simple, I pop this in the back of my car, and then literally all of my equipment that I'm going to be testing on flying, I can charge it on my way there. Now, you're certainly not short of options when it comes to wanting to multiple charge additional devices. We have got 2 20-watt USB-A's, we have got 3 20-watt USB-C's, and for those of you that want to charge DJI Air 3 or Mavic 3 batteries, which require a bit more power, we have got this 100-watt USB connector right here. Now, of course, we are pushing out at 100-watt, 20-watt. Of course, don't forget the device you are charging will only take the maximum that it can take. So, of course, charging the Air 3, for example, it's going to charge at a maximum of around 55 watts. But, of course, you've got all of those options, so you know that this piece of kit can put out the power that you're going to need to get the job done. Of course, on the side of the machine, we still have our standard mains sockets where we can plug something in and charge off those. Also, not to mention, we also have, of course, this 12-volt cigarette lighter connection, meaning I can bring out an old friend of mine, the DJI Mavic Air, and charge those batteries through my battery charger at the same time as well. Honestly, this thing is just been absolutely incredible for me to be able to do so much more flying, especially on location. Now, the obvious use for something like this, of course, beyond what I have as a content creator or drone flyer, of course, if you are into camping or traveling, this is going to be an absolute ideal companion for that backup power to be able to charge all of your devices. If you do have children, as you know, they go through iPads or tablets. This is going to be perfect for keeping those charged. And of course, if you are into your camping, as I've already mentioned, you can buy the solar panels for this to keep it charged up if the weather is nice and sunny. Not so much here in the UK, but certainly where you might want to buy this, you might have a little bit more sun than what we do. Now, I'm not going to lie and start pretending that where I live, I get many power outages or anything like that, because that's simply not the case. But if you do live in an area where you do get power outages, having something like this around your house is going to be a great benefit, especially when it comes to appliances such as refrigerators or freezers, where you might have a lot of money's worth of food, which you certainly do not want to go to ruin by having no power and it potentially defrosting. However, another use that I have personally found for this, and quite frankly, it really has been a game changer. Now, I know some of you hate that word, but it really has made a huge difference, is because I think this is absolutely fantastic for when I'm cleaning my cars, believe it or not. What I find is so tedious to drag out all my extension leads, plug everything in, whereas I can have this sat in my garage and just simply plug in the vacuum cleaner or the power washer, for example, to be able to quickly clean my car. Now, generally where I live, I've got 2 cars, so I have one parked on the drive, I have one parked over the yonder, and sometimes it's a right pain because if I want to vacuum both cars, I have to drive one off the drive, put the other one on the drive and swap them back. Whereas with this piece of kit right here, nice and simple, all I need to do is just literally lift it up, take it across there with me and quite simply vacuum up the other car without all of the messing about. It goes without saying, if you are in a household that does have a garage or a shed or anything like that and you do not have any power to that outbuilding, then of course this is going to provide an absolutely fantastic solution. Another nice benefit this piece of kit has afforded me, when it is the odd sunny day, I can actually now sit outside in the garden to edit my videos. Most video editing software absolutely drains the battery out of your laptop, MacBook, etc. Whereas now, rather than having to sit inside while I'm editing, I can simply use the Aferiy P110, plug in my USB connector and charge my laptop and keep it completely powered up, allowing me to enjoy a little bit of sun in the back garden and still edit my videos. So let's talk about some of the built-in safety features then, which I think are absolutely fantastic, and in true GAVINHR fashion, I'm going to take it to the extreme just to show you how safe this piece of kit actually is. So of course, imagine the scenario: you are vacuuming your back garden, my device is running pretty close to that 1200 watts, and all of a sudden you decide you might want to make yourself a nice hot drink. You go ahead and switch on your kettle, and that is going to push the consumption way higher than what this piece of kit is actually capable of. So what it's going to do is recognize that instantaneously, and it's going to completely shut off. So that just shows how good this equipment really is and how safe, giving you some nice peace of mind. So I'm going to carry on vacuuming my garden just to show you another feature built into the Aferiy P110. This is called UPS mode. Now what essentially this allows is, say for example, you are charging this piece of kit via the mains cable, but you're also drawing power. If you did happen to have a power cut, within 10 milliseconds it switches over the power from the mains back to the Aferiy power station, meaning you have got absolutely no loss in power whatsoever. When you are getting close to low power, as soon as it gets to 10%, it's going to start beeping at you just to let you know that you're running short of charge and that you need to give it a bit more juice by plugging it into the mains. Not only that, is if you do have it already below that 10% when you first turn it on, again it's going to beep just to let you know that you do not have much power remaining. Now on the side of the machine, we do have a couple of fans designed to keep it cool. Let me tell you that these fans are incredibly quiet, okay? It's very difficult to portray because of course I've got my mobile phone right in front of the fans, but if I just shut up for a second, that is very, very quiet, and certainly if you was using this as a backup power, for example in a tent, that is certainly not going to keep you awake. So now we spoke about all the good things. There are a couple of negatives that I have found with this piece of kit, just to make it completely unbiased and fair, okay? First of all, of course, it is a little bit heavy. We can't really use that as a negative because of course we knew how much it was going to weigh before we bought it, but this is around 15 kilos, okay? So it's certainly not portable, but of course Aferiy do have that P010 model, that 800 watt, which is much more portable, but of course this does pack a great amount of power. Now another thing that may catch you out is if we turn on the USB sockets, unless you plug something in there within a space of a few minutes, I've noticed that it tends to switch them back off. If you do plug something in, just please make sure it is charging first, and don't just take it that it is as soon as you plug it in. Now the final negative I have found is with the sockets, the UK plugs on the side of the machine. Here in the UK, our plug sockets are quite wide, and ultimately when we're plugging in to the Aferiy P110, for some reason, whilst one will sit completely flush, the other one doesn't quite sit quite as flush due to the size of the plugs. So of course, if you're in the US or the EU, I don't think you're going to have the same problem, but here in the UK, that is certainly a bit of an issue, just something for you to be aware of. Now, of course, the last thing to talk about is how much does it cost? Well, it is genuinely very competitively priced in the marketplace compared to other power stations. However, full disclosure, it does generally depend where you buy it from, because if you go to the Aferiy Direct website, they generally have offers on, or if you go to Amazon, what Aferiy have done is they have set up a special GAVINHR discount code that I will leave in the video description, which basically makes it an incredible bargain. I think it puts this model around £575 if memory serves me correctly, but there is also discount codes available again in the video description for any of the other models you might want to buy in the Aferiy range. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you did find it useful, please do give it the big thumbs up. It tells the YouTube algorithm more people just like you might want to watch my content. Subscribe if you're awesome, and until next time, see you again soon.